The legacy of Mandela still remains. Long after his passing, children continue to love the man who fought for a brighter future and freedom.
Nelson Mandela became president, and after a few years later he died of old age. But when he went out of jail, he still fought for the people to be free.
I love Nelson Mandela's accent, and I wish I could have his accent because I'm like the class clown.
Mandela was the first black president of South Africa. He was born in Transkei. There was some shirts named after him called Mandela shirts.
I think Nelson Mandela was a kind and loving man who had to fight through the apartheid, and he was a super world changer.
When I was going to Mthatha, I passed Mandela's house at Kunu.
He was a good-looking guy when you look forward, but if you look him close, you will see dots on his cheeks, and yeah.
Which means he was in his age
of 65 or 90 or something.
Well, what I remember is Nelson Mandela stayed on Robben Island for 27 years, and he wrote a book called The Long Walk to Freedom.
I remember that Nelson Mandela lived with his dad, and he wasn't rich like when he got older, because he lived in a shack, and his dad didn't have anything for him, so then he had to live with his uncle, and he studied for a lawyer, I think.
His full name is Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, and he was in jail for 27 years, and he wanted all of us to be free so we can make our own choices.
Mandela fought for our country, and he went to jail for us for many years, that he wanted peace for all our people, all black and whites, to join together and be one.
Educators have also incorporated the history of Nelson Mandela into the school curriculum.
He's a legend. We need to keep the legacy going, and we try and do that in our curriculum by talking about him, letting the kids do research on him, and also during our early act groups that we have at school, community service, because that is what Mr. Nelson Mandela was all about.
I had the privilege of meeting the great man in the 1990s, and I found him a man of great humility and respect, and those are skills we need to teach our children today. They need to know those things. They need to know to respect their leaders, and he was a wonderful example to all.
Although it's been 5 years since Madiba's passing, his humble and forgiving nature continues to be an example to the youth, and his principles the cornerstone of the makings of a true leader. One thing is for certain, the spirit of Nelson Mandela still lives on.
We love Madiba!
Jade Lee Paulser, SABC News, Port Elizabeth.